Hello, friends, and welcome to Cricket Caviar. Today, we are going to talk about the Chappell Hadley series. I'm not sure if it has been named the Chappell Hadley series because Jan Chappell had an objection with
Mm.
the series being named for T20Is because initially that name was only for ODI matches. But
Yeah,
Pratik, if you have seen the series, Australia has already sealed the series. They've won it 2-0, and the third match at Eden Park will be a dead rubber. But these small grounds are really not making any difference to Australians. They are just plundering through the Kiwi side. What's your take on the series till now?
yeah. I think it was that South Africa versus Australia series just before the World Cup. From that game to now, Australia have started playing very aggressive cricket in the white ball format. Like they
Hmm.
used to build some partnership, but now they just come and they have line of hitters. They've just every hitter is famous in IPL cricket. They have
Hmm.
all of those people playing.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry, but Mitchell Marsh, I used to think he was not good enough for Australian side, but he's now the
Hmm.
captain, and
Hmm.
he's doing brilliant job. Like New Zealand
Hmm.
is not able to compete in this series, and that's huge
Hmm.
because New Zealand always wins in New Zealand.
Hmm.
So yeah, again, I
No.
think we are seeing the two teams which will definitely reach the semifinals of the World Cup. So this makes it a
Hmm.
very important.
New Zealand was coming after a great series versus Pakistan because we saw the dominance that New Zealand had over Pakistan. Pakistan were able to win just one match at the end, and the middle over dominance of New Zealand. I did a program where I mentioned the middle over stats because they were scoring 80 and above in the middle overs every time. And in the first T20, actually, they again scored 97 runs. And I was thinking, wow, this will be very
Yeah,
difficult for Australia to match. And Australia were actually behind in the power play by 10 runs, but still they
yeah,
managed to outscore New Zealand in the middle overs. They scored 101 runs in the middle overs. And it is just amazing how Mitchell Marsh, this entire team has come, especially David Warner, Travis Head, giving that
yeah.
momentum in
Travis
the
had
start.
wow, what an interested. Yeah,
Yeah, I think the moment you are saying that South Africa series where the Australian cricket momentum has changed, that is all because of Travis Head opening also has made the difference
definitely.
because he
Yeah.
plays with so much freedom. Yesterday also we saw, those edges flying to six and that frustrating New Zealand actually. So yeah, he's been the difference. And the middle order, Mitchell Marsh and Tim David doing the finishing job. These two have been incredible. I mean, Tim David has been in incredible form since West Indies series itself.
Yeah, Tim David has definitely turned around a corner, and yeah, Australia. I don't know why they played Smith yesterday. That was a bit surprising for me.
Mm.
I don't
And
see
still they did not
really.
lose. Still they did not lose. I mean,
I
that's
don't really
amazing.
see Steve Smith playing T20 cricket now. I like for
Yeah.
me personally, I think he should not. But man, like for Australia in these two matches, almost everyone has performed. Like other than Smith, yeah, so many performances. Even Hazelwood bowled yesterday. And
Mm.
Zampa has been the king. Like we always, he's going for runs these days, but yeah, he's still picking those crucial wickets, which is the
Actually,
most important thing.
Zampa was smashed by Andre Russell, and after that, even in the last match, he was absolutely smashed by Glenn Phillips. I think it was
Yeah, yeah,
in the last match. And this game also started similarly, but I am so amazed that he's able to come back.
he
Yesterday
comes.
that Josh Clarkson, I think he was a debutant, Josh Clarkson, and he was playing for the first time. He's reputed big hitter in Super
Good
Smash League,
partnership with Marsh. Yeah,
but the ball he missed, it was almost a full toss, and I think from there Zampa got the confidence. He started turning the ball big, especially
yeah.
the Kugli to I think it was Trent Bolt, and then that ball to Glenn Phillips actually spun a lot. So he's been amazing.
Yeah.
But it's Hazelwood also. It's he's always bowls that good length because the difference versus Pakistan was Finn Allen giving those
Yeah.
starts, and Finn Allen has not been able to give those starts because
And
Hazelwood is banging it on the hard length continuously.
coming back to New Zealand, yeah, Finn Allen
Hmm.
point is absolutely
Hmm.
correct. But there is another thing in common for New Zealand in the last three defeats, back to back T20 defeats that they have got. I think you know
Hmm.
what I'm coming to now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the absence of Daryl Mitchell. Like New
yeah,
Zealand,
yeah.
he's such a crucial player. The way
Hmm,
he attacks, counter attacks, and he forms partnership. He
hmm.
he has that very good ability to strike at a good rate and make runs.
But
So
Pratik,
they're
I'll
definitely
slightly
missing.
disagree with you because I think the replacement for Daryl Mitchell was Rachin Ravindra in the first T20I, and Rachin Ravindra actually made a 200 strike rate 68, and he
Yeah.
was also brilliant until he was taken by Pat Cummins. That was the most crucial wickets, and it was a repeat of Dharamshala match in the ODI World Cup where Pat Cummins got him when he was just smashing the Aussies out of
And
the
I think
park.
now he has a reputation that he loves the Aussies, right? He likes to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
play very
I,
attacking cricket against the
he
Aussies.
actually, but where I feel that the most important, one of the most, because a lot of people actually don't want him in T20s, but I think
Yes.
Kane Williamson is also very important in T20s. In fact, we saw when he left that Pakistan tour also because of some injury. After that, suddenly,
Mm.
yeah, I agree. Daryl Mitchell is a very important member, but also Will Young instead of Kane Williamson is not doing the trick for
Yeah.
me because
William, yeah, doesn't fit well.
yeah, so I don't know
But there
what
have been some good signs for New Zealand. Sears is a good player we have seen.
Sears
Another
is
chicken,
definitely one for the future. I mean, Sears,
yeah.
there is no doubt he's amazing, and I want Lockie Ferguson and Sears to play every match because you
Lockie has
know
taken 5 wickets in this series, highest wickets. Yeah, he has
yesterday
bowled
he
so
bowled
well.
4 overs, 12 runs, 4 wickets, and it was the
Yeah,
spell that
phenomenal spell.
that put so Australia were 130 for 7 in 13th over. I gave them no chance to bat 17
Yeah,
overs also, but Pat Cummins.
they suddenly lost wickets. They were actually 100 for threes, and then they suddenly lost
Yeah,
wickets
they
in
were
tough
100
time.
for 3 in 9 overs, and they're always 100 for 3 in 9 overs. I've seen this trend with Australia. They're always 100
Yeah,
for 3 in 9 overs. They go out, they play with intent, no matter how many wickets they lose. And even after 130, Pat Cummins, he was not like a silent spectator. He was playing his shots, and somehow he got them to 170. That was
very
amazing.
good score.
Yeah,
175. Yeah,
but I expected New Zealand to chase 170 because
small
they are
grounds. Yeah.
small grounds and 170 is nothing on in Eden Park. But I'm shocked they sent Santner and Will Young back to back. I mean, what kind of and they scored 27 runs in the power play, whereas Australia scored 74 in the power play. You're just scoring
They
27
neither
runs in
had
the power
runs
play.
nor the wickets, nothing like
You
during the chase.
you
It was
never
very
can
one
win.
sided.
You can never win versus Australia by scoring 27 runs in the power play. They
Yes.
will just not allow you back into the game once you
Yeah.
start like that. And Santner was, I think, 3 of 10 to start with. So that is a very, very poor start. And why he came at number 4, first of
No
all,
idea. Yeah.
I have no. I
Yeah.
think that
So
Kane Williamson hole is bigger. Daryl Mitchell and Kane Williamson hole is very big in New Zealand cricket.
yeah, those two definitely walk in anytime. Yeah, those two are very
Yeah,
important players. Australia also the making some mistakes like Josh Inglis. Why is he playing in the middle order?
yeah.
That's but yeah, still we have to say very good performance from Australia. And yeah, two teams definitely are going to play well in the T20 World Cup. So it's a very interesting series.
I mean,
And
Pratik, first T20 was just amazing game of cricket. If you see, that was exactly the Virat Kohli
he
versus
balls
Pakistan.
11 or what was needed for David. It was something like that.
It was
Yeah.
the exact same equation as Virat Kohli versus Pakistan at MCG, except the boundaries were much smaller and they were
Yeah.
chasing 215 and not 170. But of course, the bowlers were not as good as maybe Haris Rauf or Shaheen Shah Afridi. And, they were not 45 for 4, but they were also in a similar kind of situation with all the wickets
Yeah.
lost. And so the situation was like that, they actually needed some 16 5 overs. And
Yeah.
actually, New Zealand underperformed in the death overs. They always have a great middle overs, but they always dip down a little bit at the death end because of Chapman has not fired really. I mean, he has
Yeah.
not done enough, and Phillips also has not fired the way we have seen in IPL.
Hmm.
And they dipped down and they finished on 215. They were 165 in 15 overs. Pratik, they were
Yeah. Yeah.
165 in
After
15
Rachin's
overs.
innings, nothing was everything was possible, right? Like Sky
Yeah,
was the limit after his
230. They
cameo,
should
his
have got
innings.
240. They should have got 240, something like that. But they got 215, and Australia were in fact 156 in 15 overs, and then there came two good overs, and they needed some 44 runs in last three overs, and the equation was then 28 of 8 and 16 of the last over, exactly the same equation. And even some people are comparing like Tim David to Virat Kohli now, that why you are hyping up, in especially Rohit Sharma fans, they're like, why you are hyping up Virat Kohli's knock, even Tim David can do it. But they don't understand that Tim David, it's not a World Cup and it's not an India Pakistan match, and the boundaries were much bigger, and there are so many other factors like
Yeah, yeah.
Virat, and
No,
it's a
you can't compare
compliment to
Virat
Virat
Kohli's
Kohli
knock.
that he can be a
People
test
will
player and he can be a Tim David. He can be a
people will
test
also
match player
say
and he can be Tim David. You are
Shanaka
indirectly
made
complimenting Virat Kohli.
Shanaka made 54 in 3 overs, so that's the record actually. If you talk about that, but a bilateral pressure versus a World Cup match, a
Hmm.
lot of difference. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then what does New Zealand do after that first match? Saudi gives 11 runs in the 3 balls. Then they pick Trent Bolt in the next game, and this is the first time Trent Bolt is playing after the World Cup actually.
yeah,
Like he's playing more franchisee cricket, and he
yeah.
gets smashed too. He gets smashed 4 overs, 49 for no loss. Like he is not able to bowl well in the opening, not a death. So some worry signs for New Zealand because their bowlers they have relied on for a decade are not looking perfect at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I expected Tim Southee to defend those 16 runs in the last over. He's
Yeah,
not Mohammad Nawaz. Of course,
yeah.
he's not Nawaz, right? Uh, he can defend those 16 runs, but Tim David was brilliant. I mean, the way he got that last boundary, actually, Glenn Phillips dived and they could have saved it. And it would have been an epic win, and that would have led to the series decider in Eden Park. We could have seen some record crowds booing David Warner because they hate David Warner so much. They just want to boo him.
People are
And yeah,
crying faces. They're taking the crying faces posters in the stadium. Like that's how
and
they
and
must.
the
They still want to
commentators,
remind them.
and if you notice, the commentators say David Warner is so much loved. They actually talk in sarcasm when they talk about him. They say David Warner is so much loved here. He's getting all the love from the crowd. Actually, they talk in sarcasm whenever they talk about David Warner in New
But
Zealand.
David Warner has come back very nicely after,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he
man.
wants to play for this T20 World Cup, he looks like he wants to play this T20 World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Shikhar,
I
if they
just missed
can
a
beat the
point,
world
Pratik, actually,
best
before you
team.
switch to Test series. So I just want to say Jimmy Nisham is also playing a lot of franchisee cricket, and he needs to come back instead of Chapman. Actually, he gives that extra bowling option also. So yeah, I just
Okay.
was
I'm
going to
glad
say
you
this
you're
point. You moved
agreeing
to Test
with
cricket.
that because Chapman is one of your favorite players. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. We are missing Jimmy Nisham for his finishing
yeah,
role. He's a
yeah,
superb in that role.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll preview the test series some other time, Shikhar. Yeah, but
Yeah,
let's see if New Zealand can have a consolation win tomorrow in Auckland for the last match. Um, and
yeah.
yeah, at Cricket Caviar, one of our co-members, Vishnu, his family went there for the last match. So we'll also upload some match footage, like some very interesting shots they took.
Yeah. It's been a great display of Australian intent throughout the West Indies and New Zealand T20 series. I think I just love watching the Aussies play because they are just going hard for it. Everyone has a
I
strike rate
think
of
one of the
140
Aussie
plus.
player even said like it will be great for this group to get the third trophy. Like they already addressed that.
Yeah,
So
because everyone
Australia
has,
is
except Steve Smith, everyone has a strike rate of 140 plus. And they're just going guns, starting, they're just starting with that intent. If you see Travis said
yeah,
David Warner also could have slowed down like he plays in IPL, those innings like 50 or 40, but
yeah.
but he's also
They're
not holding back. He's also
not
just
fun to
going all
watch.
out.
Yeah, this series is just a very good time pass for me. What we both are looking forward is the test series. New Zealand
Oh, great.
hosting Australia after so many years for a test series. So that will be mouth watering, especially what we have seen from Kane Williamson in his last test match. And coming off 7 centuries in 7 tests, I'm
Hmm.
sure New Zealand will definitely challenge Australia in the test matches, if not here.
And Pratik, don't forget that New Zealand are at the top of WTC table right now with
Now,
75%. With 75% because they've won 3 out of 4 test matches, one versus Bangladesh and two versus South Africa. And they lost one to Bangladesh. So they are now at 75%. And next is India and Australia are neck to neck. And of course, I think India will now go into lead, but New Zealand and Australia, it could be a very good competition till the end of this
Yeah,
WTC cycle for second place. I think India will become first because they're going to win this series. I still feel like
yeah,
I think England lost their chance in Vizag. So yeah, so India is going to win, and
yeah.
New Zealand will be very good. I think New Zealand Australia series,
They
Kane versus Steve Smith, the battle of centuries, both on 32. One is on 31, one
wow.
is on 32. So that will be epic to watch.
But I have to say, Australian bowling looks stronger though, so that
Yeah.
challenge will be there for New Zealand. But this is a
Mm,
great opportunity for New Zealand before they start playing some away series.
yeah. Yeah, so we'll
Yeah.
preview the test series later. And thank you again for following, and please subscribe our channel for more cricket content. Thank you.
Thank you, Shikhar.
Bye.